Sandy's in charge, a real hard case, with a clipboard and a fierce look on her face. Godfrey's the assistant, slow on his feet. Mike fixes things while Jen's so sweet. Welcome to McCreepys, where the fries are hot, but the vibe's a little off. The crew's always caught. From grills to fryers, they work with care, but watch out, it's not your usual fare.
Chapter 9. The break room at McCreepy's was buzzing with the usual morning grumbles and the distant hum of fryers in the background. Sandy, clipboard in hand, stood at the front like a drill sergeant preparing her troops. "All right, listen up, turtle doves," she barked, slapping the clipboard against her palm. "We've got a big corporate visit coming up. It's called a BSV. Godfrey, lounging in a chair and half asleep, scratched his head. What's a BSV? Mike, wiping the remnants of a half-eaten McCreepy's Big McCrap burger from his mouth, smirked. It stands for bullshit visit, obviously. The room erupted into laughter, but Sandy wasn't amused. She leaned in, her eyes narrowing. It's a big service visit, smartass, and it could dictate the future of McCreepy's. So, we gotta shape up, or we're all out of a job. The laughter died down instantly. Sandy continued, her voice growing sterner. That means we're working from open close, no excuses. I want this place spotless. Mike raised an eyebrow. That's a lot of overtime, huh? Sandy smiled sweetly, in that terrifying way she did when she was about to crush someone's soul. Oh no, no overtime. We're doing this because we care. The collective groan from the crew echoed through the break room. The day rolled on like a slow nightmare. Justin stood by the grill, flipping burgers with the lifeless stare of a boy who'd given up on his dreams. Jen manned the drive-thru, her voice monotone as she took orders from the few customers brave enough to visit during the cleanup marathon. Mike, begrudgingly on a ladder, wiped the grease off the ceiling tiles, while Godfrey half-heartedly polished the cash register. Then there was Edward, the new hire. Edward, with his slightly too big uniform and moppy brown hair, pushed a dirty mop around the lobby with exaggerated motions, his eyes wide and unfocused. "Hiya, Godfrey," Edward said in an overly cheery voice, pausing to wipe his brow dramatically. "Eyes mop all good, real clean." Godfrey smiled, clearly humoring him. "Yeah, you're doing great, buddy." Jen leaned over the counter, whispering to Godfrey. "He's something, huh?" Godfrey nodded. "Yeah, poor guy. Seems harmless enough, though." Edward smiled goofily, spinning his mop and nearly knocking over a tray of fries. "Oops, accident." Jen and Godfrey exchanged a knowing look. "Yup, he is a nice kid," Godfrey said with a chuckle. Edward walked up to Mike asking if he needs help with the ladder, and Mike responded, "Edward, you're already doing a great job in the lobby, but thanks for the offer." Later that night, the crew gathered at the back of the store, standing next to the towering garbage compactor. They tossed in bags of leftover food waste, paper cups, and who knows what else. "All right, let's wrap it up," Mike said, stretching his arms. "I swear, I better get a raise after all this." Just as they were about to head inside, Edward dropped his mop, his goofy expression vanishing. He reached into his apron and pulled out a gun, his eyes dark and calculated. "All right, up against the wall," he barked, his voice void of the fake innocence he displayed all day. The crew froze in disbelief. Justin, slow to react, stumbled back. Edward shoved him roughly to the ground. "You!" Edward pointed at Godfrey. "I want all the money in the store. The charity change, the registers, and the whole damn safe. Now." Mike shot Jen a glance. "I have a plan," he whispered. Before anyone could react, Justin slowly stood up. His posture changed, his face darkening. His eyes were black. Edward turned the gun on him. "Sit down, Justin." Justin tilted his head, a sinister smile spreading across his face. "I'm not Justin," he growled. "My name's Jackson." Without warning, he lunged forward, grabbing Edward and hurling him toward the garbage compactor. The machinery groaned as Edward's screams were cut off by the sickening crunch of metal. The room fell silent except for the hum of the compactor finishing its job. Jen stared wide-eyed at Justin. "Justin, are you okay?" Justin blinked, his eyes returning to normal. He swayed slightly before mumbling, "Yeah, I'm fine." The next morning, Sandy walked into the break room, looking more irritated than usual. She slapped her clipboard onto the table. "I don't know what kind of closing you did last night," she grumbled, "but the BSV is still coming, and this store better be perfect." Godfrey looked at her, still shaken from the events of the previous night. "Sandy, didn't you say we all have to care?" She squinted at him. "No, Doda Bird. I only care about the BSV. If you've got time to lean, you've got time to clean."
Oh, Justin, ain't you seeing? Wrap them burgers, folks is fleeing. Take your time, but not all day. Hygiene matters in every way.